First of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you, not just for being here, but for opening up your own hearts and your minds to something different. I want to thank Fiona and Devin and that beautiful speech that Devin gave. I think it's one of the best I have ever heard on a land acknowledgement. And I really appreciate what you said that night. I also want to give thanks also is to Susan Berry and Deb Callender, John, Tom, and all those that helped make this weekend a very special weekend, not just for you, but for the Indigenous community here that came out as well. When the Europeans first came here, they came here with a closed eye. They came here with an empty heart. And what they saw was just savages and a barbaric way that they had. They didn't understand and they did not respect who we are. And that's part of the teachings of Tecumseh. For when he went to Fort Detroit with 200 of braves and surrounded it, and hooting and hollering, and over 1,200 American troops gave up without a shot being fired. And the best part behind it was the prophet who was with him, happens to have been his brother, said, "What do we do with these people? Shall we kill them?" And he said, "No." He said that we have to learn to teach them respect as well. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about your, out there, I noticed I saw it in Mohawk on your peace pole. And I caught that one day and I said, oh, how beautiful it is to see that you can open your hearts and your minds into respect. So I want to talk a little bit about the teachings of Tecumseh and what he said. He said, and see how many principles are in our stories. He said, so live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no man about his religion. Respect him in his views and demand that he respects yours. Love your life, perfect your life, beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long and in the service of your people. Prepare a noble death song for the day when you go over the great divine. Always give a word of salute when meeting or passing a friend or even a stranger in a lonely place. For you are a stranger to him as well. Show respect to all mankind, but growl to none. When you arise in the morning, give thanks for the morning light, for your life and strength, and give thanks for your food and for the joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies in yourself. Touch not the poisons of firewater that makes wise men turn to fools and robs the spirit of its vision. When your time comes to die, do not like those hearts are filled with fear of death. So when the time comes, they weep and pray for a little more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home. Now, I happen to be Haudenosaunee, and we have our own principles, our own values. And the Haudenosaunee culture has many unique and interesting facets. Perhaps the most notable part of the Haudenosaunee culture is the spirituality, seen through expressions of thanks for all we have and hope to have, which is shared among the nations. Throughout every ceremony, there is a respect to each living thing, and thanks is given out of respect for all that has been received. In giving thanks, the Haudenosaunee follows a cycle of ceremony, holding rituals which follow the seasons. Spirituality is the central part of our lives of the Haudenosaunee people, but parallel to this is a respect for other religions. Unlike many religions which promote the recruitment of new followers, Haunishonis have never tried to force their beliefs on anyone and allow their own people to follow their own beliefs without criticism. The great law of peace itself was built into it, freedom of religion, which is respected by all its followers. An essential value which forms the foundation for much of the Haudenosaunee way is the duty of preparing for the seventh generation. The nations of the Haudenosaunee believe that we borrow the earth from our children's children, and it is our duty to protect it and the culture for future generations. All decisions made now are made with the future generation who will inherit the earth in mind. In closing, I just want to tell you a very true story. It's about a little girl in upper state New York near the end of the 1600s. And smallpox hit their village. Her father was a Mohawk chief and her mom was an Algonquin Christian. The smallpox took her parents and her brother's life and left her terribly scarred. And it also left her almost totally blind. Every day she would go up to where the missionaries were, or the Catholic priests, and on her way she always stopped at a wooden church or a wooden cross like her mom had done and prayed. She was mocked, she was ridiculed, she was picked on because of this. And this is why the great law of peace had to come in. When she was about age 21, 22, she passed away. And during the preparation of her body, every scar disappeared. And this beautiful young lady lay there. They buried her beneath that wooden cross. People prayed there and their scars started to disappear. So the Catholic Church exhumed her body and brought it up to Quebec, where it lies today in one of the monasteries. Today, she was canonized by the Catholic Church. She is the only Indigenous saint, and her name is Katrina Tecumseh. The word Tecumseh means to move things, and believe me, with us, she moves our heart. So I thank you.